Hello everyone, this is Maradius, and today we are going to be continuing my 100% run of Super Mario 3D World. We still have so much left to do. We gotta still beat Champions Road, except I'm getting a little short on lives, which is a bit worrisome. So I am going to do a quick trick to get more lives. Hopefully this is as easy as I remember it being. Because if not, then, ooh. Well, okay, that's a bad start. let's not do that. Let's see. So I think. Okay, I didn't mean to get rid of the shell that way, but it's fine. Yeah, classic Koopa Shell Infinite Lives trick. I'm just doing this to save myself time later and don't have to farm lives. Now, real question is, what would be a good amount of lives to get? I could go and max out my lives, but I don't think I want to sit here quite that long. So maybe we'll just stick with, like, I don't know, 200? That should be a good amount to clear Champions Road with. I hope. It is kind of funny how you can just so easily render lives meaningless, though. Alright, just need about 40 more, and we should be good. Alright, there we go. Actually, let's see if we can pick up a power-up. Okay, I guess not. Why am I getting hit by Koopas in this level? This is just bad. Power-up will mean we at least get a little bit more hit points in Champions Road for the first attempt, and then beyond that, of course, we just got nothing. These guys out of the way. Okay, let's actually get started on our Champions Road attempts instead of doing silly side stuff like this. I really hope I can beat it today, because it's not going to be the... Okay, I know we just spent time getting lives, but you know me, I gotta go gamble. Now, I don't really need to try too hard, fortunately, because we got 200 lives. Well, now we have 201. Doesn't hurt, I guess. Better get 999. Well, 999 isn't even the cap. The cap is crown lives. Alright, let's go back to Little Crown. Alright, let's hopefully clear this relatively soon. I don't think this Fire Flower is going to last very long. Alright, so Octumas are immune to Fire Flowers in this game. And I just slipped and fell to my death. Well, there goes the Fire Flower. It's okay. Need to get back into the rhythm I was going with. at the end of last stream, which I'm already kind of failing at. Consistency is going to be difficult to build up, but we'll get there. Really? Like I said before, this is gonna take a while. Am I that rusty from a few days ago? Like, come on. Alright. This is more like it. That's not more like it. Alright, well. Well, at least we got to this next section. Oh boy. Well, this is... Yeah, it's still definitely gonna take a while. Just need to consistently get past the beat block section, and then we'll be good. I just need to warm up a bit first, I guess. I almost fell off there, but fortunately I didn't. Good. Gosh dang it, I hate that jump so much. Alright, let's do that. Just walk to the side of them. Mara can do whatever that was. Gosh, I'm not looking forward to the fact that I'm gonna have to do this 5 times. Ugh. Yeah, I definitely don't think there's any other Mario stage that comes quite as close to being as difficult as this one is. Again, like, it's mostly in the beat block section where most of the difficulty is, I think. Of course, I'm saying that because that's where I'm dying the most. I'm having the most trouble doing any kind of consistency, but still. Yeah, I really need something to counter this. Let's see. Well, I guess I'll say that I do have a setup, I think, for Super Mario 3D Land. So once we're done with 3D World, we'll definitely be going back and doing 3D Land. Assuming I can get past this. And it should still be fun. I haven't used a, well, it's been a long time since I played. Even longer than since I played it. Then I'm going to take the L a lot. That's just kind of a given with a stage like this. And this is the kind of example why I'm not really going to do a Kaizo. Because imagine this, but it's like every single star. That was a bit dicey. There we go. Alright, let's make some good progress here. Oh, come on! Taking unnecessary hits at this point is just stupid! I don't want to go after the Piranha Plant because that feels like it's just taking an unnecessary risk. At the same time, it really feels like I should just go and grab it anyways. Of course, it would help if I got to that section with more than one hit point left. I just keep taking unnecessary hits. Like, come on, man. Okay, so it seems like small Luigi doesn't really get the little flutter in his jump that normal Luigi does, so I can't use that jump as a stalling tactic. Actually, I probably don't want to use any kind of stalling tactics that are based solely on Luigi's movement, because that's just going to end up going poorly when I can't do this stage at all later with other people. Okay, just slip through the blocks there. Alright, get through this. Okay, so I have to be a bit more moving around. Can't just jump in place. Gosh, I hate that so much. I still have not come up with a consistent strat for getting up that staircase. Alright, jumped a little too soon there. It's fine. just jump off. Honestly, I have so very little memory of what 3D Land's equivalent was. It probably pales in comparison to... Oh, come on! I really need to stop taking unnecessary hits on this first section. Save the health points for later when it actually matters. Dang. Just the fact that it has 2 of those double blocks in a row, it just keeps throwing me off so much. I don't know what that was, but it wasn't good. All right, let's give it another try. And of course, this level makes Perfect Run look like a piece of cake. I really do kind of wonder, now that I think about it, why Perfect Run in Grandmaster Galaxy as a whole did not have beat blocks, because that is definitely a way, gosh dang it, to make things a lot more challenging, having to go through to a rhythm. Or at least a very fast rhythm like this. Ugh. I either have to come up with a better strategy or I have to get really good at the timing, and I don't know which is more feasible for me right now. Doing that is not what I should be doing. I lost so many lives. Good thing I went and grinded a bunch of lives out already at the start of stream. Hopefully we're not going to need all 200 lives. Hopefully we're not going to need more. It's so annoying when he just slips through the blocks. Going too speedy there. Just need to get into a rhythm. Do things consistently right. It should build up enough muscle memory that I should be able to get by this a lot more easily than I am. Struggling on this, like gonna get worse. It'd be nice if I had a little bit more than 1 hit point, but we will make do with what we have. That's another rhythm thing that I'm just... You know what would help a lot? If I had more than 1 hit point. This part isn't even that bad. I should be able to get to that part with all my hit. What am I doing? And that's why I dodged to the side instead of jumping over. Why did I jump over them again? That was just being a bit too risky. Alright, that's good, that's good, that's good. Come on! I should not be taking damage here. Did he just get killed by the fire bar? Idiot. Alright, let's be a little patient. Okay, the fuzzy still got me. Alright. Well, maybe I can just long jump across. Maybe I don't need to use that platform anyways. That'd help a lot. Alright, alright, alright. Doing good, doing good. And then I just completely missed the jump! Gosh dang it. I really shouldn't be struggling in that part as much as I am, but here we are. This music when you sleep. I apologize for that, but hopefully it won't be too much longer. I mean, of course, we still gotta beat this 4 more times, but yeah, not looking forward to that. That's for sure. think just jumping over them is the best way to reduce taking unnecessary damage, as much as it's not necessarily as consistent. I feel like it's just going to be better that way. Yeah, that was just... Yeah, I feel like I'm starting to get into a bit of a rhythm with it, but we're still not there. You know, honestly, if I just die in this section, I should just... Or if I take damage, I should just die. Save myself the effort of grinding through suboptimally when I should be just getting through this section damageless. Right back here. There we go. There we go. Doing good. Not doing good. I don't know why I died there. It's really bad gameplay on my part. Consistency is key. I just need to get more consistent. That's not consistency. Gosh, I know there's an Ant Trooper section. There's... I did make it to Ant Trooper section once, but I just haven't made it past since, which is a bit oof. But... let's see, so... You know, if I really wanted to have an easy time, I would just switch to Rosalina. Because her spin jump would make this a lot easier. I could probably do the beat block section so much more consistently. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to have to clear this with Luigi. And I might as well get the Luigi stamp for finishing all stages as Luigi, instead of waiting until much, much later. But, yeah. Now I'm taking unnecessary damage at this first part again. Gotta build that consistency back up. The stamps are no longer usable, like the idea. It's sort of neat, but at the same time, it's kind of a frowned upon collectible. Like, I know that, like... Well, if for example, if you didn't use Miiverse, then it's just, like, completely worthless. I mean, I guess it has some value. But as a just an illustration collection, but it's just like being able to unlock concept art is a much better idea than stamps. All right, doing good, doing good, doing good. Alright, this is the farthest we've been. I don't know how much more sections are beyond this part. Hopefully not too many. But it feels like it should be a lot easier than the sections we were just doing. Alright, well that's not good. Oh boy. I will read that comment in a moment, Luca Lima. It's just, I gotta focus. No! You do a show and make a spiritual successor of Footnotes on April Fool's Valley, and I thought it would be a good idea. It would definitely be interesting, but at the same time, again, it's like, well, I guess the thing is that it would need to be, the problem is that the reason like why Flipnote and Miiverse worked as well as they did was because they were like the only real social boards for Nintendo stuff. Having something that stood on its own that wasn't tied to a Nintendo thing would probably have difficulty in building a big enough user base. But at the same time, Nintendo stuff is obviously going to be limited to the lifetime of the console, so it's just a bit iffy all around. Gosh dang it. I feel like I'm starting to get a bit better at this, but not getting better quite fast enough. If I can get to that last section with without taking any damage, I think I'll be in a very, very good spot. Really, it's just the beat blocks thing that's really hard. The rest of it's not that bad. You'd love if fans make those permanent, like, fan site or something. But again, like, part of the problem is that they may be able to keep their community alive longer, but it can be a bit difficult setting up a user base for it. Because again, like the reason why the originals had as much of a user base as they did was just because it being a Nintendo thing, and there not really being other avenues for that kind of stuff on Nintendo systems. So there's definitely something to say about like the ease of access of using those systems when it's through official Nintendo things. When they're discontinued by officially, then even if you have a fan-made stuff, it's no longer got that ease of access. Yeah, still have people making stuff with it, but it's just not going to be the same. Alright, that was a bit dicier than it needed to be, but it's fine. Yeah, I think going for the Piranha Plant is just a liability. Really unfortunate I took damage there. I just don't know the proper... Okay, gosh dang it. Timing your jumps on those is really difficult. I just need to take a more cautious approach instead of trying to blitz through it. But I just need to keep getting there. Eventually, I'll get it down. Alright, I'm definitely starting to get that down a lot better. Let's hope I can just keep up that momentum. Unfortunate. This part's definitely a lot scarier without that insurance of the extra health point, but it's fine. Not fine when I do that. Alright, building consistency, that's what we need. Didn't angle my jump. Still working on that one. Doing good. This run's not really starting until it gets past this point. Yeah, if I fail that, it's just over. I know there's one Kaizo Galaxy Coup hack that really ramps up the amount of mechanics that use the swapping beat block rhythm. Dang it. And I have a feeling that if I were to attempt that, even with save states, it would just be like an absolute nightmare. Like, given how I'm struggling a bit with doing the rhythm stuff in this. But who knows? Maybe it wouldn't be that bad. Well, some of them anyways. Of course, it doesn't help that there are hacks where, yeah, Blue Eclipse. Yeah, there are hacks where the rhythm changes as you go along, which is just, really, really makes it even more difficult to go along with the rhythm. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. Gosh, dang it. Without I'm struggling with what normal Nintendo is willing to put in their games, that mod would just kill me. Alright, let's beat up these Magic Koopas. Alright, that's good, that's good, that's good. Let's make it count. Okay, that's not quite what I was hoping for, but lets me progress some, then it's okay. Okay, that was not doing well to progress. All right. Back here again. No! Gosh dang it. I like you definitely like want to do so much of this damage list just because it gives you an extra layer of insurance. What am I doing? Why would I just jump off there? Definitely one aspect that makes it this being 3D instead of 2D a bit harder. You can just have slight misinputs like that lead you falling to your death that wouldn't be as much of a concern in 2D. I definitely feel like I can beat this today, though. Much more consistently getting past the beat blocks. Made it to what I think is the last section. Hard to say for sure. Okay, not great, but more practice for the ant troopers. Alright, now here. Fortunately, they come back, so it's not too big of a deal. I just need to be careful. Okay, doing good. Hey, it almost didn't send me in. That would have been pretty bad. Oh boy, this section I'm Gosh dang it! We got 4 out of 5, I think. Had I reached that point without taking any damage, we may very well cleared. Saving next shit and last lead before it's gonna blood, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing in that B block section. That was so scuffed. But if it works, it works. Gosh, that part I still need to get down a lot more. Okay, that's probably something I want to do there to help save a hit point. All right, let's do this. All right, back here. Make it count. I slipped off! You gotta be kidding me! At least we're getting there a lot more consistently. Shouldn't be too much longer now. Just slip there. Let's try to not do that. All right, doing good. Doing good. Not doing good. You know what? I am going to try something after this. Just to maybe make things a little easier for myself. I might just try to see if I can grab a power-up and use it to give myself an extra hit for that last section. I still have to get through pretty much everything else, but it will make it just a tad bit simpler. Maybe. Gosh dang it. All right, yeah. Let's just back out for a moment. Let's go grab a couple power-ups. And then we'll come back. Okay, who still has the Toad House attack? Probably not this world. I don't know what the conditions for making them respawn are. Probably a game over, but... Alright, so this is hopefully all we're going to need for now. If it's not, I am going to be sad. So I imagine this isn't really going to... Well... I should try to pretend like I don't have this, because it's going to mess up my momentum otherwise. No, but the cats, the Super Bell does help a bit in situations like that. Yeah, there's no way to go up there. Okay, yeah, the Super Bell really makes that a lot easier, but of course we can't really rely on it because it's not really going to be practical to go out and get the Super Bell for every single attempt. Especially when I do stuff like that. Didn't even get to use all the hit points. Oh well, back to normal attempts. Gosh dang it. This is, of course, going to take some time. Even with the backup plan to help get to the last section. Oh boy. This is also why you don't generally want to grind for a power-up for each attempt. You make it one dumb mistake and that time is wasted. Well, it's not over yet, though we're in a bad position for this attempt. Yeah, that one was kind of doomed. Oh, we'll keep at it. Let's just avoid taking damage here. Thank you. But now I'm starting to get out of sync with what I was doing. That's kind of not ideal by any stretch of the imagination. Why did I accidentally press ground pound there? Well, that doesn't help. We'll get through it. Better safe than sorry. Not like that, though. Alright. Get to this next section. Doing good, doing good, doing good. What am I doing? I'm just stalling too much. Oh, what? I take damage there. No, at least this part shouldn't be too bad. Right, there we go. All right, let's be a little better position. I just need to make it through here without getting hurt. Then we can put our power-up plan into motion. All right, let's try this out. And I hope I don't fall off to my death because I slipped. Okay, I just played that super suboptimally. Let's just get more power-ups. It's fine. I don't know what the fastest level to go to for just getting power-ups, but we're gonna go here. Grab some super bells, hope it works out. I don't know. I just got way too complacent there with having 3 hit points and just brain did not work. Obviously, we can't have that. So let's try that again. Probably want to do one of those really short levels, but I don't know if they have power-ups. I know one of them has like the double cherry, but the double cherry obviously is not a power-up we can take with us. So we don't want that.
Luigi time! Let's go!
Belt changes your momentum angle so much that it's definitely a bit oof. Alright, let's not die stupidly here. What did I just say? Oh, no more Super Battle until we get back to that one point, so it's whatever. No. Definitely getting that out. More or less. Hey, I didn't really need to fail so badly there, but here we are. Gosh, we've gone through so many lives already. That's just unfortunate. Alright, alright. Good, good, good. Not good. Keep doing this to myself. I think I'm really starting to get that stairway down. There we go. Not mess up here. I think I might not use the power-up if I get to the last section, just because I think it's better save for a run where I took more damage beforehand anyways. Unless, of course, I take damage in this section, which hopefully won't happen. Alright, let's do this. Jumping in that gap. Why? Jump too soon. Ah. Just went too slow there. Alright. Keep up the momentum. Oh, come on. Alright, back to the Ant Trooper section. Alright, this. Fortunately, this is quite forgiving in state. This part less so, but still, it's fortunately not too difficult. Alright, well, looks like we'll be using the Super Bell again. Almost didn't make it. So cat momentum doesn't completely screw me over. Come on, come on, come on. Let's just get that gold flag. We got everyone here. Captain Toad with more stacks of cash. And there we go. Now to do it a few more extra times because can't have things be too easy, now can we? But I'm going to save that for later because heck that. I spent more than enough time on that. Oh boy. Yeah, there's 4 stamps missing. So we got to get all those. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through, do it world by world. Just so I'm not repeating the same level again, again, and again, and again. So just do all these as Mario. Skip over ones we already did. Just take a nice victory lap. First, we don't need to worry about getting collectibles. Just go for the end. Of course, getting power-ups is still going to be recommended, but beyond that. Right, untime, yup. Though I'm still gonna try to avoid taking too many unnecessary risks just because don't need to make this take even longer than it already is. Alright. It's gonna take forever to see that timer go down. Already did that as Mario. Now we do this. I'm not afraid to use the touchscreen for this. This is just redoing stuff we already did because they felt like it. What speedrunners would do anyways, no? Oh, okay. Since the grades are there, you can't quite do it as simple as we could those previous sections, but it's fine. Now this section we can do just fine. Bye, Magna Koopa, you will not be missed. Because we have the Super Bell. It doesn't even matter that we didn't do that last puzzle. Oh yeah, let me just check. How many are there any secret stuff? No, there's not really any secret. Right, on to Bowser's Highway Showdown. I really need to see this cutscene every time. Bowser's not even that threatening anymore. Oh, we could just zoom past everything. It's actually a pretty simplistic level thinking about it. Well, makes everything easier for us. Well, now we gotta slow down. Back to throwing bombs already, thank you. Get ready to see this cutscene a lot. We're gonna be beating up Bowser a whole lot. Well, that's World 1 done as Mario, so now it is time to do it as Peach. Funny that the Sprixie princesses are just chilling around here, even after they've been freed. Like, you can leave. You don't have to stay at Bowser's stronghold. But no, they're just gonna stay there. Right, so obviously that is Peach. Now we do this is Peach. Actually, I wonder something. The jar feels comfortable. Probably not. I'd imagine it's more so. Well, they also not in staying in the jar after. Now, I know that there's a warp pipe somewhere in here. Just don't remember where. I was wanting to just do it for a quick clear, but I don't know the exact spot it's at. It doesn't really matter. It's just faster if I go to the end. Just dodge everything. And like, just like that. Well, I mean, I guess there's a spot for it to have been. It probably would have been right there, but that wouldn't really make it that much faster to do. So, yeah, probably good that we don't do that. Okay, at this point, I'm not going to do the gambling because we're just trying to... We already beat all stages, got all green stars and all that. We just don't need to do gambling. It's just a waste of time at this point. Wonder how light Goombas are because of how they stack. I mean, realistically, you'd have a big enough stack and they would inevitably crush the ones on bottom. That's just how it works. You can't just keep stacking them indefinitely. And given how they're able to damage Mario and company, I assume that they are able to pack at least a little bit of a punch. So I don't think they're as light as they are made out to be. Also, like we see with the bigger Goombas, that they obviously have a bit more heft to them. So, like, they're obviously not infinitely light, because even those really big ones wouldn't really have that much weight when you're kicking them around. But they do. So, obviously, they can't really stack that easily. And if we're being honest, if you exerted the force on the top Goomba to kill it, it would also exert that force on the whole stack. So inevitably, you would also cause a lot of downward trauma instead of just only... Ooh. killing the one on top and leaving the rest unscathed. But that's neither here nor there. Oh, this is a pretty simple and straightforward level. I'm trying to remember if, like, Plessie has shown up in any other games yet or not. I mean, they often do have a habit of just making characters that are only around for one game, so wouldn't really surprise me, but it would be interesting if they did show up. Back to the circus. That a lot slower than I should have. Okay. Still a very quick stage, all things considered. Good enough. Run. Wonder how sick I'm gonna get of running the same stages several times over. What was the hardest game 100% that I played and the longest one 100%? Hardest? I don't know. Because there's definitely some games that... Well, let's see. Well, longest games are obviously going to be like open world games that I played. Or some RPGs even. Because there's a lot of grinding to do in some RPGs. I went 100% at Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and that just took forever. It was a good game. I don't regret doing it, but it definitely took quite a lot of time to get everything. I'm currently in the process of playing, why did I jump this one? Tears of the Kingdom, and that's also taking an awful lot of time to 100%, and it's not the most enjoyable 100%ing. Like, 100%ing this will definitely be a lot more enjoyable than 100%ing Tears of the Kingdom, that's for sure. But, like, I don't actually... Besides, like, open world games just taking forever, I don't really know many that took that long. Yeah, the Koroks definitely make... Well, they make it difficult, but they're far from the only thing. Like, right now, I'm trying to upgrade all the outfits and everything in Tears of the Kingdom, and you just need absurd amounts of materials. And there's just simply not enough enemies out and about, at least where I'm at, to reliably get all that, so I have to frequently wait for all the enemies to respawn, and that's just so annoying. Well, there's some things that are random chance, and you need like a bajillion of those, and that's it just takes forever, man. The grinding is just, ugh. Well, anyways, that's World 1 done as Peach. Let's go do it as Toad now. We did that level as Toad. So now we go do this one. Oh, ooh. I know a game that was definitely pretty difficult, 100%. It took a long time. So I played Terraria in Journey mode, trying to get like a full collection of stuff. And that took so long. There are so many things that are just like random drops. That, or well, not random drops, but random spawns that took forever. Like, there's these golden critters, and you need to get 3 of them in order to get it recorded in the research menu, and that just was... Ooh, that took forever. Not to mention that one of the paintings in the game is a Where's Waldo painting that is ludicrously rare. So that took a lot of cave spelunking to finally find one. So annoying. And that was even without playing that was using all the power-ups to make things simpler. It still took forever. The mods for Terraria makes the game even hard. Yeah, I'm well aware. I am currently trying the Calamity mod. Because I thought, why not? I am doing a bit of Journey mode in that too, but I'm trying to do it without using all the power-ups. So I gotta actually legitimately beat bosses, and it's rough, especially since I have to fight them on harder difficulties. And I'm not really that good at Terraria that I would say that I'm good enough to beat a lot of these things normally. So it's definitely a learning experience. But, yeah. I need to do better getting up here. And like, of course, like I generally, of course, with some games there's like sliding scales of 100%. And there's some games where all I do is a lower tier 100%, like do as much as you can in one single run without having to go into New Game Plus. And like, I don't do that. It depends on the game whether or not I do that. If it's a long RPG, then I typically don't bother with New Game Plus. And while I try to fight all the bosses in like the Soulsborne games, it's just doing multiple playthroughs of those is not something I really enjoy, because I already went and explored every nook and cranny. I'm done. I don't need to fight all the bosses, so I can get a slightly different colored outfit or something. I just don't feel like that's necessary. Or I need, again, an ending that's still pretty ambiguous as to what happened, but things are, the sky is a slightly different color or whatever. I'm not going to bother with, like, all those things. But I definitely will try my best to... Well, again, I guess another example, like Bloodborne, for example. Though that game has multiple endings, but I feel like there's really only one ending that's worth going for if you're... Or only one ending you really need to do for 100%, because there's two endings based on... There's the base ending where you don't get to fight German, you don't get to fight the Moon Presence. And then there's an ending where you fight German, but you don't fight the Moon Presence. And then there's an ending where you fight German and the Moon Presence. And it's like, at that point, why bother with the lesser endings? Just do the full endings that that make you fight all the bosses in one run, and then call it a day there. At least that's how I approached it. You wish Sony did more with Bloodborne? Yeah, I really wish they did too. It was such a good game. And the aesthetics and the lore was so on point. And I really like the Chalice Dungeons, even though, like, not necessarily the biggest fan of doing roguelike stuff, but it was still fun to do all those as well. I do know that there's going, with the Switch 2, they're going to have pretty much a Bloodborne successor called, like, Dustbloods or something. I don't remember fully what it's called. But I know I'm definitely going to be looking forward to that. Hopefully Nintendo will let them continue and make more games in that vein. But we'll have to wait and see. Oh boy, I lost my power-up. That's not good. Had it for so long that I kind of got complacent. We'll just focus on this. Now, of course, one Souls game that I made an exception to that was Sekiro. That's just because the different endings have different bosses. And they had mutually exclusive bosses. So if you want to fight all bosses, you would have to do 2 runs. And so I went and did the longer ending on my first run. And then I went back and did the bad ending, basically, on my second run. So I didn't have to go through as much. Still don't know whether I'll play those games on the stream, but I wouldn't be opposed to doing them. But we'll have to wait and see. Because, like, I know Dark Souls 2, there's technically, if you want to do true 100%, you gotta do some garbage involving getting through the game without using any bonfires and getting through the game without dying once. And I don't have time for that. Kudos to those who can, but I'm not gonna grind that out, especially not on stream. There's things I'd rather be doing instead. Just, like, basically anything that's, like, really tedious and still very tedious and has a very high skill requirement. I don't know if I would do. But I'm not playing any games like that yet, so we don't have to worry about it. Pretty much like any hardcore things, I don't think I would really want to do. It'd take way too long, and especially like if it's a really long game, then it's just not enjoyable to have to go through that. Alright, World 1 done as Toad. Now we just need to do it all as Rosalina, and then we're done with World 1, and we can move on to World 2. This is going to take some time. Alright, back to 1-1. But his Rosalina stuff is going to be, well, I'd say easier because of her spin jump, but that only matters if we don't have a power up. So looking back on it, it's kind of crazy how generous they were with power-ups in the first world. Oh, another level done. You do a better job building up speed and not wasting it. So I can go slightly faster. Funny thing about like this requirement is that if you just play with 4 players and you complete each level normally, you only need to do it one more additional time just with Rosalina. No need to spend all this extra time clearing it 5 times. I do wonder how many streams this is going to take to fully complete. Because, like, even though Champions Road is brutal, doing it 5 times, like, eventually I'm probably going to get decent enough at it that, like, it's not going to be that bad. I'm not going to take that long for each clear. And so I could see this being shorter than some of the other games we played on stream. Even though I would say Champions Road is definitely, like, the hardest thing I've done for 100%, and doing it 5 times especially, it may not end up being the longest.
Let's go.
So, like, technically speaking, the game that I've spent the longest on thus far is Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Just because, technically, I played the 3 games on there. Even though I count them as separate games, you could argue that it's just one game. I definitely did, like, I want to say 16 streams total that game, because it was 3 Super Mario 64, 5 Super Mario Sunshine, and then 8 Super Mario Galaxy 1. I mean, it probably would be a little less if I didn't do some of the random intermission things, but... So I don't think, for a long time at least, any game I go do 100% is going to match 3D All-Stars. But that's kind of really just a technicality if we think about it.
Let's go.
Alright, just need to do the castle, and then we're fully done with World 1. We don't need to go back to it anymore, except to get power-ups for subsequent clears of Champions Road. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Don't really need to see this cutscene again. You let me skip Bowser's intro. I don't know why you don't let me skip this one. Maybe because it's a loading screen in disguise. Oh, that just went over their heads. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, no more Cat Rosalina for the rest of this level. I mean, I could use the power up I have in stock, but like it doesn't really matter that much. I find using the Super Bell must deal more damage when you attack them with the bombs. Because this fight just randomly took a lot longer than the beat. It's crazy. There we go. That took too long, but we got there. Well, fully done with World 1. I'm going to go check the level list just to make sure I didn't miss anything, but should be everything. That's World 1, fully done. See, I don't think there's any special side things in World 2, so we'll just go on ahead. Alright, so let's start with... I know there's the mystery house up ahead, but we'll just to save time, we'll do it when we get... There's a blockade, right? Yeah. Just making sure that's what the A stage was. Ice Super Bell to start off the world. That's assuming I don't take unnecessary damage. That will be just really good for speeding things up quite a bit. Of course, I need to make sure I'm not taking unnecessary damage, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. That was a bit risky, but doing just fine. Not doing the gambling anymore. Much as I feel inclined to, it's just a waste of time at this point. Did I accidentally press that one? Alright, well. Anyways. Well, I gotta be careful about when I talk so I can do this right, I think. Okay. There we go. Let's see. We need to... Oh, preferably... I don't know what I was doing there. Just really messing up. I didn't get the checkpoints. Now I gotta start all the way over. Speed running. Jeez. Need to pay just a bit more attention. I accidentally pressed the thing to bring out my cat suit. That's unfortunate, but it's okay. Let's actually grab the checkpoint this time in case I make a mistake. Otherwise, it's going to be in for a bad time if I make another dumb mistake like I just did. There was probably a power up there that I'm just not getting. But it's fine. We're just speeding through these courses anyways. But we should be done. Just don't mess up this jump. See, it's not that hard. Why did I mess it up before? Alright, on to Shadow Play Alley. With the cannibalistic piranha plants. Bit risky carrying them like that. Well, now he gets tossed into the abyss. It's fine. Alright, that was kind of stupid of me, but it's okay. Let's get another power up in the next level. Pretty short level, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so this one should be... I already did this one as Mario, so I should just leave. Need to pay attention more. Yeah, so no need to do that again. Alright, mystery house time. Kind of hurts to not have a power up for this one, but it's fine. Thanks for the power up. Of course, really easy one, don't need to worry at all. Really. Now we do big Galoomba blockade. Of course, with Cat Mario, they're just as easy as normal Galoombas. Well, maybe a little bit harder because you can't just ground pound them into oblivion. But I'll take it. Time for double cherry pass. And you really can get through this game pretty fast if you're just going for the exits only. And we don't really need to make use of multiple Marios, we just need to get to the end. Goodbye, other Mario, you will not be missed. Yeah, we did need to beat that guy. Good thing I did. Done in no time at all. Right, on to the castle. We're already at that point. Okay, now it's an auto scroll, and that's not going to be fast, which is unfortunate. We can just chill for a bit. No need to get all violent. Enemies aren't really out to attack us, so why even bother? Yeah, I'll still grab this for safety purposes, but don't. You know, like, technically speaking, the only thing we really do with these stages is just defeat the boss at the end and then get the flag, which helps us free the Sprixie Princess. We really could have just waited for most of the convoy to make it through to the point where we would have landed at. And then, like, just jumped onto the part of the convoy that we actually needed to go to instead of just fighting our way through the whole convoy for no reason. Or sneaking our way through the convoy. Well, anyways. On to fight Boom Boom and just... It's sometimes a little tricky to jump on top of them, but... Alright, let's just keep chilling here. And there we go. Yeah, scrollers like this are definitely going to slow things down a lot, because there's not a whole lot you can do to speed it up. I'm stupid. I forgot. I already cleared the stage as Mario. What am I doing? How did I not remember that until I literally saw Mario's flag already there? I'm just not smart sometimes. Well, that was a waste of time. But we need to do all levels with everyone else, so no mistakes there. Oh, back to Conkdor Canyon. This time as Peach.
Let's go.
Not die in quicksand, thank you. Just gonna hit checkpoints just to be safe from now on. Especially when I do risky stunts like that. So I definitely have noticed at this point, Peach definitely has a much slower run speed than the other characters. Not much, but it is noticeable.
Let's go.
Definitely not going to be getting any speedrun times as Peach. But that's okay. You just gotta get through it. Spoke a moment too soon, but it's fine. Anyways, keep going. And we're at the end. Okay. Now back to this one.
Let's go.
Took you off into the abyss. You'll be fine. Further reach than I expected. Probably should have actually just straight up clawed him. I don't know why I didn't. It's not bonk on stuff. That's not very conducive to time. Alright. Now we got Rolling Hills. Which we're not skipping over this time because we didn't do it as Peach previously. These worlds definitely do feel a lot shorter when you're trying to run through them as fast as possible. But they still take long enough that doing it 4 times is a bit painful. Okay, where's the power-up? Thank you. That should speed things up. Let me just go over here, skip all the gimmicks. Rather, most of the gimmicks. Checkpoint to be safe. Jump up here. Might be faster to just do a bunch of long jump spams, even with the cat suit. So I might be doing a lot more of that. Back to the mystery house. Definitely did that faster than I did with Mario. Not that there's really much time improvement to be made. Not that it's even tracking my time. Of course, we're not really building up our lives stockpile, which is unfortunate. But it is what it is. I have plenty of times to grind infinite lives in the Koopa Troopa cave. And with double cherry, it's not really doing much for us here. Alright, just need to do the castle, and then we're done with Peach here. Of course, auto scroll is going to be annoying, but we just gotta deal with it. We have to do this stage 3 more times. I like how even though like I'm holding them in place with the touchpad, there's still moving ever so slow. Don't know why I swapped to the fire flower. That's not really going to do much for me here, but it's fine. Especially when we have this, there's just no need for the fire flower. You know, with how wearable these cannons are, it makes you wonder why they don't just... why Bowser doesn't just put them on some of his troops and have them wear it. Gives them an extra hit point, too. Bowser, again, probably doesn't think that far ahead. He just thinks, this looks cool, and then figure out the ramifications of it later. End up floating right over him. Oops. Doesn't matter that I took some damage there, because you just took off something I was going to lose anyways. Alright, let's hurry up and move on to Toad. We just want to have super bells. We don't want the other stuff. It's just not as good for going fast. Of course, it doesn't help when I do stuff like that. Or that. Or that! What am I doing, man? That's why you gotta be careful with using long jumps. Great, a mushroom. That's totally what I needed. Well, now we gotta go the long way around because I was dumb. There we go. Gotta keep it up. Alright, back here. Probably can't grab the power up here because that's just too much of a diversion. Alright, gotta be careful here. Now we go across here. Almost had that going back too fast. Let's not get stuck on stupid geometry. Alright, now we're at the end, and... Okay, should be good there. We definitely should be able to complete World 2 by the end of stream, but... Oh boy, progress is going to be just a tad bit slow. Fine, it gives me time to make sure I have a fully working 3D land setup, but oof. I guess I don't really need to go back through that back way, but it's fine. Yeah, I just need to do that. That level was done super quick. Keep up the momentum. I think Toad's speed is definitely good enough that it doesn't need to use long jumps, whereas Peach definitely does need to use long jumps. Is Toad the fastest character? I really need to look up what all the differences between the characters are, besides some of the obvious details. That's something to worry about for next stream. Maybe. Unless I forget and just don't look it up. Super Barrel really is just superior to all other power-ups in this game. Almost got hit by that fireball, but we didn't, so we're good. think we did that even faster than we did before. Nice to see. Double cherry pass time. Back to the auto scroll we go. We'll just do this pacifist because why not? I got nothing better to do. I mean, pacifist except for the fact that we're just gonna beat up Boom Boom, but that's fine. Pretty much pacifist. It's like, are these piranha plants just going to get run over now that I'm not killing them? No, they're going to kill each other. Okay. Well, that's not my fault. Oh, we're just passing by, so not really doing anything. It's wild that Bowser has these troops that are really good at marching and all that, but like they don't even bother to attack you unless you kill one of them first. So it's like, what's even the point? You have these well-trained people that know how to march, but that's like the only thing they're good at? I don't know, man. It's not the angle I was expecting that to go. All right. Another clear World 2 done. All we just need to do is Rosalina. Then we're done with World 2 completely. No more going back to this place. This is definitely going to be a long process. There's so many levels. Went the long jump, but that kind of backfired on me. Okay. I need to do better. That was embarrassing. I can't believe I let that happen. It's fine. Don't need a mushroom. Well, hopefully we pick up the pace just a little bit more. Because otherwise, oof.
Let's go.
Wrong button. Grab the checkpoint, and now we continue on. Alright. Now let's just keep it there. Excuse me. Ouch, I can't believe I let that happen, but it's fine. I do wonder when they're going to make Rosalina playable in a mainline Mario game again. It's probably not that likely. Just, well, for numerous reasons, but yeah.
Let's go.
There's more spin-off potential than Waluigi. Yeah, that's mainly because Waluigi was literally made to be a roster filler. Whereas Rosalina actually has story and lore relevance. And like, of course, at this point, Waluigi does have enough lore to really be his own character. And he's not literally just a palette swap, but at the same time, like, Honestly, with Waluigi, it really feels like they need to do another Wario game that's not in the style of the micro games. And have Waluigi be involved in that. Because that'd be like the perfect place. You wish Waluigi was on WarioWare? Yeah. It's kind of weird that he isn't. But then again, WarioWare is kind of developing into its own side spin-off. Like, every Mario character that has their own side thing, it kind of starts going off into its own side thing. That's a bit disconnected from everything else. Like, Donkey Kong is a perfect example. You have all those things that are really just only part of Donkey Kong. And even though they're, like, technically part of the same world, it's not really acknowledged. What am I doing, man? Trying to get up. I was just not fully paying attention. Stupid me. The touchscreen was not helping here. But yeah, like Donkey Kong just kind of its own thing that's mostly disjoint from Mario. There are some exceptions, like Bonanza having Pauline. I don't even want to think where that's supposed to fall in the timeline, though, but that's beside the point. Yoshi, even though it often has Baby Mario, oftentimes is kind of just its own thing. That Yoshi stuff is definitely a bit more connected than the rest, but it still kind of suffers from that. Luigi's Mansion, to some degree, also kind of suffers from that, but then again, like... Well, I guess that can be shown the fact that Luigi's Mansion has their own King Boo that looks quite different from the King Boo that Mario faces. So, that's something that exists. But, like, all the ghosts are just generally kind of their own thing that's not really interacting much with the rest of Mario, other than Boo's being the thing that's constant between both. And WarioWare is its own thing. Now, of course, even before that, you had games like Wario Land. I might say... Well, okay, honestly, I don't know much about the Wario games. Like, I know there's WarioWare, and they got their own cast of characters that are just not really related to the rest of the Mario universe as a whole. But even when, like, Wario was more of his traditional design instead of the WarioWare design, the only game I can think of was, like, Wario Land Shake It. And there was others, I know, but I just never played them. That again was also in its own little pretty much branch of Mario lore. I guess you can even like say to some extent it even applies to like stuff like the Paper Mario games. Well, okay, Paper Mario has definitely veered back into being closely tied with Mario lore to a point where it's kind of, well, okay. There are some aspects where they're not really able to create too much on their own, but they have some stuff that's just so out there that's kind of like its own thing. Like whatever paper-based mechanic they decide to have for their latest game, which is oof. Mario and Luigi has their own things as well. They're a bit better about feeling integrated, but at the same time. And of course there's Captain Toad, who has all of his own things. That's disjoint from most of the other Mario stuff. But then again, like, I guess you could say that about a lot of stuff. Like, how many enemies from Super Mario Galaxy 2 end up showing later? At least the ones that were introduced. So, there's just a lot of stuff that just doesn't show up again. And that's, like, true of all these branches of Mario lore. So, I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point because I'm just doing levels I've done 4 times already for the 5th time. Anyways, let's finish off World 2. Once and for all. We beat our best time of 200? Probably not. We'll just keep on keeping on. Just doing this run, just going really far up, more or less. You know, that animation looks really weird when you only have 2 legs coming out of the box, and the other limbs are just hidden. I don't know, man. Anyways, that's World 2 fully done. We could do, like, maybe a level or 2 of World 3. But, yeah, not much more we can do today. Pull up that map just to be sure. Yep, all done. Alright. Right, Snowball Park. Shouldn't be too bad.
Okie dokie. Let's go.
Just run past everyone. Skip the skates, because it's not fast enough to even catch up with us. Why would we want to use it? Maybe we got time for one more level. Yeah, why not? You know, actually, that's an auto-scroller. So, you know what? I think it might actually be best we just call it here for tonight. But, yeah, good progress. We finally beat Champions Row. That took way too long. But, of course, we have to clear it 4 more times. We got to clear all these other levels 4 more times. Still got quite a ways to go ahead of us before we're truly 100% done with the game. But that's just what you gotta do for 100% sometimes. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for watching. We will see you next time on Saturday. So, yeah. Right, yeah, we'll see you, Luke.